Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into something pretty big happening around the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025. And it's not just about the action on the pitch, is it? It's this really groundbreaking push for sustainability.
Exactly. It feels like a real step change.
Yeah, so our mission here is to unpack how this World Cup in England is, well, setting a new standard for being environmentally responsible. We've been digging into this Ruck piece, how the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025 is going green, and honestly, some of the stuff they're doing is quite surprising.
It really is.
You're going to find out some really interesting things about how these huge sporting events are changing, moving towards being, much more green. And if that fascinates you as much as us, definitely hit subscribe on Rugby Obsession wherever you listen. Keep up with these deep dives.
Good call.
Okay, so let's get into it. This event, England hosting in 2025, it feels more than just a tournament. It really feels like a shift, a statement almost about environmental focus.
It absolutely does. And what's key here, I think, is that it's not just talk. The source mentions this proper national plan across all 8 host cities. It's not just some vague idea. It's a thought-out strategy. They want a lasting impact, beyond the event itself.
Right, not just offsetting, but building it in from the start.
Precisely. Integrating it right from the planning stages.
Yeah.
That's what feels different this time.
And that integration, that's the really interesting part. It's not just high-level stuff. It's happening on the ground. Right?
Yeah.
So what are some of these practical changes? At the venues, this is where you see the real commitment, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And they're tailored, which is smart, not one size fits all. Like, take Brighton, their big focus, boosting biodiversity. So planting trees, sure, but also putting up lots of bird boxes. It's about creating actual habitats.
Okay, so ecosystem stuff, not just looking green.
Exactly. It's got that long-term thinking. Then you go to Northampton. They've recognized the shift to electric cars, right? So they've installed a load of EV charging points. Helps during the tournament, obviously, but encourages greener transport locally for years.
That's smart infrastructure investment.
It is, and it benefits everyone long after the tournament's packed up.
So what about inside the stadiums? Energy use is always a huge thing for events like this.
Oh, absolutely, and they're tackling that head-on. Places like Exeter and Sunderland, they've done major lighting upgrades, switch everything to efficient LEDs. That cuts energy use way down, not just for the event, but permanently for those venues.
Makes sense. Lower running costs, too, I bet.
For sure. And then look at York. They're using smart systems to manage heating, ventilation, even concessions.
Yeah.
It's all about automation to cut waste and energy use without needing, loads of manual checks. It's quite clever, actually.
Using tech to be greener. I like that. What about somewhere iconic like Twickenham? Huge crowds there.
Yeah, Twickenham's made a big move, too. They've replaced their traditional gas heaters, swapped them for electric alternatives. It's a direct cut in their carbon footprint right there.
Okay, that's significant for a venue that size.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then there's the plastic problem, always an issue. So Salford and Bristol, they've focused on installing water refill stations all over the place, really pushing people towards reusable bottles, tackling that single-use plastic mountain.
Simple but effective.
And the key thing the source points out is that this isn't just nice ideas. There's real funding behind it and a proper strategy to make sure these changes stick around after 2025. World Rugby is even planning a post-event carbon report to measure the impact.
Wow. Okay, so they're serious about tracking it.
Very serious. This isn't just a one-off gesture.
That level of detail, the local focus, the long-term plan, it really does make it feel more than just a pledge. It shows real commitment, doesn't it, to making a lasting difference in these places.
Exactly. And it goes even deeper than that,
Yeah.
beyond the stadiums, behind the scenes.
Right, because the impact isn't just what fans see. The source mentioned something really innovative in Exeter, this air cleaning tech trial. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's fascinating. They've treated over 2,600 square meters of printed stuff, like banners and branding, with a special coating that apparently breaks down air pollutants. It's a trial, a test case for the future.
That's the kind of thing I mean. Trying something new, seeing if it works, rather than just big promises. It feels more pioneering.
It really does. And
Right.
it points to this really holistic view World Rugby is taking. Sustainability principles are being woven into over 15 different parts of the tournament operations.
15? Like what?
Everything. Catering, logistics, how they handle broadcasting, transport for fans and teams, even planning the workforce. The goal is clear. Cut emissions everywhere, not just in the stadium, but across the entire delivery of the event.
That sounds like a massive job, thinking about every single step. The targets they mentioned sound pretty ambitious too, using more local suppliers.
Yep, cuts down transport miles.
Designing materials for reuse from the get-go.
Thinking about the end of life right at the start.
Tracking the life cycle of everything they buy. Aiming for 70% of stuff procured to have a clear end-of-life plan. That's a huge shift in procurement.
It's a fundamental change in how you plan and run an event of this scale. Absolutely. And it's not just happening randomly. There's a proper governance structure in place. To track progress, spot problems early. They did detailed assessments of each venue beforehand, too.
Ah, so they knew what they were dealing with in each city.
Exactly. So the plans are tailored. It avoids that ineffective one-size-fits-all approach you sometimes see. Different cities, different needs, different solutions.
That makes so much sense. And it sounds like the tournament is also kind of a learning lab.
Very much so. Which is brilliant, actually. It's not just about 2025. It's about building knowledge for future events. They're actively sharing what works between venues. So if York smart systems are a big win...
Other places can learn from it and maybe adopt it.
Precisely. That practical collaboration, sharing best practices, that's often missing when things move so fast with international events. Everyone's usually just focused on their own bit.
Yeah, that's a really positive development. It makes the whole effort feel more sustainable in itself, like building capacity. We're diving deep into how the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025 is really pushing the boundaries on sustainability. It's quite inspiring, actually. And if you're finding this interesting and want more stories like this, uncovering these kinds of innovations, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. Just search for it wherever you get your audio.
And to really lock in that long-term view, World Rugby isn't just stopping when the final whistle blows. That post-event carbon report we mentioned, it's crucial. It's about transparency, measuring the real impact of all this, accountability.
So they can learn and improve for next time.
Exactly. It shows this isn't just greenwashing. It's about setting a genuine standard for the future.
It really is impressive. All this amazing work happening off the pitch. But of course, there's still a World Cup to be won on the pitch. The excitement there is building too.
Oh, absolutely. This is a massive tournament for women's rugby. The standard just keeps getting higher. And looking at the likely winners, well, England are definitely the ones to beat. Odds are around 21. Home advantage is huge, but so is the pressure that comes with it. They've got the squad, though.
They certainly look strong. Who else is in the mix?
Well, New Zealand, the current champs, they're right behind at 52. You can never, ever rule them out. They bring that physicality, that flair. France are always dangerous, about 92 odds, powerful forwards, exciting backs. They'll be a threat.
Okay. What about the other home nations?
Wales are looking like longer shots, maybe 141, 161, somewhere in that range. They can definitely cause upsets, though, if they find their rhythm. Scotland and Ireland are considered outsiders at the moment. But look, the women's game is growing so fast, anything can happen in a tournament. Every game counts.
It sounds wide open, really, even with clear favorites. For England especially, managing that home pressure will be key, turning it into fuel. It's shaping up to be fantastic viewing for the rugby and for seeing these sustainability efforts in action.
Definitely. A tournament with a dual focus, you could say.
So, wrapping this up, the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025, it's clearly doing more than just hosting games. It's setting a really ambitious benchmark for how major events can be run sustainably. It proves you can have top-level sport and real environmental responsibility.
A powerful message.
Yeah. So, thinking about all this, what does it mean to you listening? What part of this stands out, these new approaches? Do you think they could influence other big events you follow, maybe outside of sport even? We'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, it'd be great to get different perspectives.
And remember, for more deep dives into topics like this one, subscribe to Rugby Obsession wherever you're listening right now. Don't miss out. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we will look forward to you listening to our next episode.